Alright, welcome back, Team DWC. It's your boy TWP Popcorn. Y'all already know what time it is. Another day in paradise. 10 a.m. Saturday, a.m. Sunday, 6 p.m. Wednesday, aka another day in paradise. Hopefully you're doing good, smoking good, because I know I am. I managed to go ahead and start recording the Rumble video today too, so I'm on top of my game, as we say. Y'all already know we got to check out these camera angles, get this ready to go, because y'all already know we got some videos to review. Shouts out to this being primarily review content, because that's what we do. We review shit. We watch videos, we spread information, and if it's good, we'll say what's up. If it's bad, we'll let you think about it. uh, got to do something for you. Shouts out to the homies, because, the homies be needing some advice. So I got you covered. Speaking of which, let me click this button real quick, put me in the chat. Shouts out to Heather. She'll be going live for her members chat at 10:30, which is, about 25 more minutes from now. So, let's get into my stuff and see if we remember to say what's up to her at 10:30. What up, John? Good to see you. How you doing?
Tending the garden can be quite relaxing. Everybody run for your life! The Grim Reaper is tending the garden again! Grim, from the station that's working for you, you're watching Fox 4 News at 9.
My gut just tells me when you've been involved in this many incidents of violence that probably there's other professions that you should probably seek.
Tonight, Kansas City's police department is settling another lawsuit involving the same officer. In this latest lawsuit, a woman will be awarded $65,000 after she accused Officer Blaine Newton of assault. I'm John Holt.
I'm Bria Love. Newton has been sued and investigated for killing 3 people in 2 different incidents all over the last 4 years. Fox 4's Dave DeMarco live at KCPD headquarters with the video that was the base of this most recent lawsuit. Dave?
And that plaintiff, who was a Walmart shopper back in 2022, says that she simply was trying to record an arrest with her cell phone when she says she was subject to assault, battery, and false imprisonment, all by that officer whose name you've heard before, Blaine Newton. Attorney John Paserno says Bermika Mitchell didn't initially plan to sue KCPD officer Blaine Newton for what you see here in a Platte County Walmart in September of 2022. But then she learned more about the officer's alleged history the next summer, when he shot 2 people and injured a third as he came upon someone in a van pointing a gun at another vehicle near 31st Street and Van Brunt. It was the same officer that sparked protest in 2020 when he shot and killed Donnie Sanders. Investigators later said Sanders was not armed during the incident. Newton was not charged in the case. And later the same year, he was captured on video putting his knee on a pregnant woman's back.
Just think of the numbers of officers that go their entire career and don't discharge their firearm, or the number of officers that go their entire career and don't kill anyone. And here you have an officer who was admittedly, shot and killed 3 different people.
The situation at the Platte County Walmart left life-altering, but Paserno says it still never should have happened. Mitchell witnessed an arrest in the parking lot.
There was a lot of commotion, a lot of noise. She didn't think what was happening was right, so she began to videotape what was going on with her cell phone.
She proceeded to live stream as she entered Walmart. That's when someone in plainclothes, who she says she had no idea was associated with the store, told her to stop. When she didn't, Officer Blaine Newton escorted her to an office.
He then puts her in a non-KCPD approved restraint maneuver with his hand and arm under her arm and shoulder and a twisting motion, and then escorts her through the store, through the vestibule, and to the loss prevention officer.
The Office of Community Complaints recommended an excessive use of force complaint be sustained. Newton was also one of 3 officers who used a taser and repeatedly punched a teenager in 2019, which resulted in a $325,000 payout from KCPD. This settlement is for $65,000.
I think it's really important anytime a lawsuit is settled with law enforcement. Somebody has to police the police, and apparently it's not KCPD that's going to police their own employees.
65,000.
Now, that community complaints memo said that officer was disciplined. However, when I reached out to police today, they said that they can't comment on that discipline. It's not public under Missouri state statute. Bria, those 2 wrongful death lawsuits are still pending, and according to police, Newton is a patrol officer here with the department.
Everybody in New York was calling to get down with Mr. Nice Guy. We met all kinds of customers, like this guy here. He's what we call an enhancement smoker, because he thinks that marijuana makes every activity that much better.
Casa su casa.
Observe.
You're Scarface, right?
Yeah.
I love Al Pacino, man. Did you ever see Son of a Woman?
Yup.
You ever seen Son of a Woman?
Weed.
On weed. That's the way to say it, man. It's just whack.
$60, yo.
Cool, man. I got it. Did you ever see the back of a $20 bill, man?
No, I don't know, yo.
Did you ever see the back of a $20 bill? On weed? Oh, there's some weird shit in there, man. There's a dude sitting in the bushes, man. Does he have a gun? I don't know, man. I don't know. What? Red team go. Red team go. It's just some weird shit, man.
Yeah, you're fucking crazy, yo.
Oh, it's cool. Thanks, man. Hey, yo, wait. Dude, I'm gonna check out the stars later. It's really trippy. Especially on weed, man.
Marijuana, weed, cannabis, whatever you like to call it, there's a ton available these days. In fact, in Canada, there's more reefer shops than all the McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King's, Taco Bell's, and Starbucks combined. But given my own personal interest in the substance and my obsessive interest in sleep on this channel, I've recently started asking myself, what exactly is the pot doing to my sleep? I know some people swear by it as a sleep aid. In fact, nearly 50% of users report that they're using it to help them sleep, while others say it only makes things worse. What's going on inside your body and brain when you go to sleep high or simply consume cannabis on a regular basis? And more importantly, could you and I actually be hurting our sleep, energy levels, and mental capacity in the long run? First up, let's look at the good sleep news. One of the main benefits of THC that you may have experienced, and that's supported by research, is a decreased sleep onset latency. This is just a fancy way of saying when you have THC in your system, you're likely to fall asleep faster, which is particularly useful for people who find their minds running before bed or those who suffer from insomnia. In fact, studies specifically looking at those suffering from insomnia found that marijuana not only helped them fall asleep faster, but also allowed them to sleep longer. As a result, this led to higher daily functioning and general improvement of well-being. And studies looking at people suffering from depression and PTSD have found similar results, as they often experience poor sleep as well. For people who don't have specific sleep issues, research shows that a single dose of cannabis can reduce sleep onset latency, increase total sleep time, and bring less sleep disruptions once asleep. But repeated use of cannabis can actually start to cause problems, which we'll get to shortly. There's also been some promising research into CBD, the non-psychoactive component of cannabis. First, it may interact with your body's thermal regulation by decreasing your body temperature. To initiate sleep, your body actually needs to drop its core temperature by around 1.5 degrees Celsius, and studies have found that CBD administration seems to aid this. Second, it may be interacting with adenosine. Adenosine builds up in your brain through the day, making you naturally tired. Caffeine actually binds to the same receptors, effectively blocking adenosine, which is why it can keep you alert. but some research suggests that CBD may actually modulate your sensitivity to adenosine, making you more tired. And finally, CBD seems to quiet the amygdala, which is associated with fear and emotions, and it's been shown to reduce anxiety in some studies, allowing for more restful sleep. But scientists have found that this is all very dose dependent. In fact, very low and very high doses of CBD may be wake promoting, while the ideal sleep dosage is still being experimented with. While this research is really promising, experts say it's still super early days to be recommending CBD as a sleeping aid, especially when in combination with THC. Which brings us to the bad sleep news. So even though THC may decrease sleep onset latency, it seems to make the overall quality of your sleep much worse. A normal sleep cycle goes from light sleep into deep sleep and then REM sleep, or rapid eye movement, where you have dreams. All of these phases are important for brain health and different cognitive abilities. But much like alcohol, marijuana seems to have a very negative impact on REM sleep. Not only does THC seem to delay the arrival of your first REM stage, it also significantly decreases the overall amount of REM you're getting. You've actually probably experienced this firsthand if you consume a lot of cannabis, in that you notice you have way less dreams. This has been further supported by eye tracking studies. THC decreases this movement and intensity, taking the rapid out of REM. And studies have found this can directly impair cognitive abilities like memory and cause more grogginess and lethargy. Chronic REM deprivation can make a person anxious and moody, and with extreme deprivation can cause one to hallucinate and become paranoid. If you've ever tried to take a break from weed or quit, you may have also noticed how wild and frequent your dreams become. That's because your body is basically going through a rebound phase. After having been deprived of good REM sleep for an extended period, it suddenly increases REM by a lot, leading to a lot more dreams, of which, in my experience, can be kind of crazy. A rebound phase like this is also often associated with a deficiency, further emphasizing the impact THC has on REM sleep. Speaking of rebounding, part of the reason that some people think cannabis is helping their sleep is because when they stop taking it, their sleep gets really bad. And not just like back to their previously bad sleep, but even worse. This is a very common withdrawal symptom, especially in people with insomnia, which leads to a tough choice. Do I quit weed to improve my sleep quality, but potentially trigger insomnia where I'm sleeping less overall? Or do I continue to use it and maybe be getting worse quality sleep, but at least I'm sleeping at all? The risk is some people seem to develop a tolerance for THC, and as a result often need to increase their dosage, which makes the problem harder to break away from and perpetuates the negative impacts of cannabis. In fact, sleep problems are one of the main reasons people are unable to quit marijuana, because the immediate impacts become unbearable. If you are trying to quit, just know that rebound insomnia is one of the main symptoms of cannabis withdrawal. Regular marijuana users also consistently have more sleep disturbances through the night than non-users, and people who have used weed within the last month are also more likely to say they have a hard time falling asleep or staying asleep. In fact, one of the biggest studies on 14,000 students found that insomnia was significantly higher in people who consumed marijuana compared to those who don't, by about 45%. And these numbers were proportionate to how much weed a person was consuming.
Man,
For
stay
people
up all
who
night
consumed
smoking,
weed
right?
daily, they were 2 times more likely to have insomnia. Furthermore, people who use chronically, which is defined by around 20 days in the last month, are 64% more likely to sleep less than 6 hours a night and 76% more likely to sleep longer than 9 hours than people who don't consume. Which may seem like an odd stat, but research over the years has found that sleeping between 7 to 9 hours is optimal, or the Goldilocks zone, and those who fall out of that range have an increased risk of heart attacks and strokes, as well as the long-term progression of things like atherosclerosis, diabetes, coronary artery disease, and any of the major cardiovascular diseases. But whether these sleep issues are actually caused by cannabis or simply correlative is still a little murky in some studies. For example, it's possible that people who have bad sleep or suffer from insomnia are more
That's
likely
nice
to turn to
word.
cannabis as a possible solution. At the end of the day, what can you take away? Overall, the results of cannabis use on
Stimulation.
sleep, specifically THC, don't look too good. While a single dose might help you one night, repeated use can very
guys, I
quickly
got
make
this
the
blunt
problem
rope.
much worse, particularly hurting your REM cycles. And while CBD does look more promising and doesn't seem known to affect REM or cause dependency or rebound issues, it's still early days. It may be more useful for those who have conditions such as depression, severe insomnia, or other major sleep disturbances, but the results are mixed, especially when you factor in increased tolerance to marijuana over time. For me personally, I actually took the last month off of vaping or eating edibles because I was feeling like I was more lethargic and tired, and I can say with 100% certainty that I feel more well rested now than I have in a while. It's not like an extreme difference, it's almost difficult to articulate, but it's been a welcome change. And it doesn't mean I'm gonna quit forever. I'll probably just use it a little more discerningly now, knowing there are specific negative impacts it's having on my sleep. Honestly, it's probably for the best to take a break from anything that you indulge in a lot. It makes it more exciting when you go back, and who knew it could also be good for your mental and physical health. Yay! But I'm curious about your experiences and perspectives with it. If you want to leave a comment down below, I'd love to read it. We actually made a whole podcast on this topic with more detailed research as well as our personal anecdotes and stories on the Side Note channel. I'll leave a link down below or on the screen somewhere for you to check it out. Thanks so much for watching. Your likes and subscription are appreciated as always, and stay tuned for some more science ASAP. Peace.
Some people are scared of vampires.
What did he look like? Did anyone see who accosted this man?
I got a date. I can't.
Here are 5 of the amazing gifts that came from me quitting cannabis. And a lot of these benefits happened within the first year of my recovery from cannabis. Number 1 is my brain healed. I started to remember things better. When I was getting high all the time on marijuana, I had a hard time remembering things. I had a hard time thinking clearly. I didn't have any goals or aspirations. I felt just that my mind was a bit blurry. I felt like I wasn't firing on all cylinders. I felt like my brain was completely wired for instant gratification because I was using marijuana as a way to cope with negative emotions, as a way to cope with anxiety, as a way to cope with stress and a lot of my circumstances that were happening around me at that time in my life. I was used to, whenever life got hard, reaching for the pipe or the bong or whatever to make sure that I could do what I could to numb the pain right away. And when I gave that up and I stopped doing that, what happened was I felt like my brain over time started to heal, and I felt that I could start to, again, remember things better. I started to have goals. I started to have aspirations again. I started to be more patient when making decisions, and I was less inclined to do something based on impulse. So again, I felt like my brain started to heal, and I felt like I could start to finally think clearer again, which didn't happen when I was getting high on pot, getting high on marijuana. And I felt very hopeful because for the longest time when I was getting high on marijuana, I was often told that
what up, beat after
weed,
beat? Y'all need to go check out that
marijuana
big
destroys your
homie.
brain, and the more you smoke it, the more you do this,
He got shit really
the more
cracking
of an
these
impact
days.
it's going to have on your brain long
Cash
term,
App,
and you're killing brain cells and so on and so
or
forth.
click his
So
channel,
I was
whichever one you
convinced
prefer, right?
that my
I give you
brain
option.
was going to be forever in this state where I wasn't able to think in a certain way. I wasn't going to be able to remember things. I wasn't going to be able to have a normal brain anymore because of what I had heard about marijuana and also what I had experienced. Because the truth is, I did have a hard time remembering things. I did have a hard time thinking clearly. I did feel fuzzy throughout the course of the day when I was getting high. I felt all those things, right? So one of the greatest gifts is that my brain healed. Number 2, improved quality of life. My life when I was getting high on marijuana looked like this. I would spend all day, every day, doing nothing but getting high with my friends, eating unhealthy food, sitting on the couch, watching TV, just not doing a whole lot of anything. I had a hard time showing up to work when I needed to. I was afraid and ashamed of going to family events because I was worried that they were going to know that I was high. I had a hard time looking at myself in the mirror because I knew I was just miserable and unhappy with myself based on my circumstances at that time in my life, and also these choices that I was making with getting high on a regular basis. I just looked at myself. It was just incredibly disappointed. No self-confidence, no self-esteem. My complete outlook on life was horrific because I only saw it in the context of marijuana and this religion that came along with it. Like, all I cared about all day and every day was who I was going to get high with, what type of food I was going to eat after, what music are we going to listen to on the car ride when we're getting high, who do I have to scheme to be able to smoke for free. If anybody, calls me that's not helping me in that situation, they don't matter to me. Like, all that stuff was just horrible, right? It was rotting my life. Once I quit marijuana, which is when I was in jail, the first day I went to jail was the last day that I did any drugs, my quality of life started to improve. I started to work out, as many of you know, when I was in jail. I started to focus more on nutrition. I started to focus more on what I wanted for myself in life. I started to be disciplined. I started being able to get comfortable being uncomfortable. I was motivated to change my life. I was motivated to do certain things in my life. I didn't have a problem showing up to family events. I didn't have a problem staying disciplined and going to work
right there on,
because
pass
now
him the blunt.
marijuana wasn't overwhelming me at that time in my life. It was out of my life, and I could focus on other things. It gave me so much time back. I just felt so much better about myself. My entire outlook changed without being high all the time on marijuana. So first thing is my brain healed. The second thing is it improved my overall quality of life. The third thing is that it improved my mental health so much. It's funny, initially, when I started to get high, I was doing it because I felt like it was helping my anxiety, it was helping my stress levels, it was helping me to self-regulate. And what I found was it did the opposite of that long term. Like, I found that the more I smoked, and the more I smoked, the more anxious I became, the more paranoid I became, the worse I was at dealing with my emotions, right? And so I say that because when I was getting high consistently on marijuana, I was often anxious, paranoid, and constantly worried about my life, worried about what people thought of me, worried about people knew what I was up to and that sort of thing. When I stopped, my anxiety rapidly decreased. My paranoia went away. I stopped having panic attacks because when I was getting high on marijuana, I was having panic attacks frequently. As a matter of fact, I was in the emergency room twice while I was high on marijuana. So again, marijuana dramatically hurt my mental health, made me way more anxious, paranoia, crazy amounts of panic attacks, hyper stressed, more worried. And when I stopped, I felt that my anxiety went down a lot, paranoia went away, anxiety attacks went away. And a lot of that came from me quitting the pot, but it also came from me choosing other paths to deal with my emotions. Because like I said, using marijuana to deal with my emotions and the anxiety and the stress and all that stuff long term caused more emotional problems for me, caused more anxiety, caused more paranoia. Well, I still had some mental health stuff going on. It didn't all completely go away. The anxiety, like I said, was significantly reduced. But to deal with that anxiety that I would have, I chose different things. I chose exercise. I chose running. I chose walking. I chose talking to a friend that I trusted. I chose just sitting in peace somewhere. I chose better things. And
key word was, like he just said, he chose better. Hell, what's better than getting high? Doing other shit. Shit that you might not do because you high, but that's what it be.
over time, my mental health improved not only because I had continued to abstain from marijuana, but because I was teaching myself how to properly self-regulate and deal with my anxiety in a healthy way that wasn't going to cost me long term. I also had way more self-confidence, way more self-esteem after quitting marijuana. The reason is because when I got high a lot on marijuana, I would eat a lot of food, so I would gain weight, and I wasn't happy with my health because I had a ton of body fat, and I looked at myself in the mirror and was just completely unhappy with the way I treated myself, so it negatively impacted my self-esteem, my self-confidence. I knew the way I was handling my life and the way I was dealing with things was not healthy and was not in the best interest of me, even though I was doing it, and so that made me feel ashamed. I wasn't happy with my current situation in life, so that negatively impacted my mental health. And so after quitting marijuana, after getting out of jail and changing my life, I started to feel more confident because I was finally taking care of myself in a way that I knew I needed to. I was finally staying disciplined. I had hope in my future. Again, because my brain had healed, I could think more clearly, and I just had a more positive outlook on life because I believed in myself more. I felt a sense of accomplishment because I quit doing something that I knew was destroying my life, but at the time, I couldn't give it up because I thought I needed it to survive and deal with all of my problems, even though it was making all of my problems worse. So when I stopped using that as a crutch, and I got into recovery, I realized that my overall mental health improved because of the increase in self-confidence, self-esteem, reduction in anxiety, making the panic attacks disappear, and then also learning how to deal with my emotions and my mental health in a healthy way. So that's number 3. Number 1, brain healed. Number 2, improved overall quality of life. Number 3, improved overall mental health. Number 4 is an improvement in relationships. When I was getting high on pot all the time, I had no connection to myself at all. I didn't know who I was whatsoever. I was doing whatever I could to fit in with the people around me so that I could be quote-unquote cool. I was doing whatever I could to seek validation from other people to fill this void that was empty inside of me because of my low self-esteem and my low self-image. I didn't know who I was at all. I had lost myself completely in this addiction and religion of marijuana, and I was completely disconnected. When I quit marijuana, when I was in jail, I started to reestablish connection to myself. I started to think about who I was as a person, who I wanted to be. I started to take responsibility for my actions and my behaviors because I wasn't as ashamed of myself anymore, and I wasn't blaming other people for my problems because I was unhappy with where I was in my life and the actions that I was doing. I started to reconnect to myself and develop some goals. I started to reconnect again to my mental health and realized how much I'd been putting it on the back burner before I went to jail. I realized that I wanted more for myself. There was a part of me that still had hope and still had belief, right? That all came when the substances were out of my system. And so because I was able to reconnect with myself and determine what I wanted for myself and for my life, I started again to be able to take responsibility and see things differently and say, oh, it wasn't just my parents' fault. Oh, it wasn't just the kids in school's fault. Oh, it wasn't just this person's fault. I had a role in this because I could think clearly. I improved my mental health, and my relationship to myself and the way I connected to myself dramatically improved. And so when that happened, now I'm able to take that knowledge and use it in other relationships and use it to improve the relationships with people in my family. Because now my guard's not as up nearly as much as it was. I was still angry. I was still upset, but not nearly to the effect of when I was getting high all the time before I went to jail. I was able to understand my role in these things and know that if I was, and it had to also start with me taking full ownership and accountability, something I never did when I was getting high. Never, ever. Nothing was ever Doug's fault, ever. And so I slowly but surely started to work on the relationships with my family and started to improve them. I was less reactive in tense situations. Because before, when people in my family or when somebody would say something to me about my habits and what I was doing, I was hyper reactive, hyper defensive. Nothing was ever my fault, like I said. And that created way more tension in my relationships. But now that I could think clearly, I wasn't always on edge. I wasn't as defensive. I wasn't as paranoid. I wasn't.
Let's look. Shout out to this cracked ass phone, but y'all can see what you see. Shout out to Izzy. She going live right now. Appreciate that. You got the J Jordan dropped a video. What's it, 10:30? So Heather's live too. So shout out to Heather. I called her to say what's up. I'm gonna stop by there real quick because we membered up over there. Have a good day. Bam. And we out of there. I'm not even gonna click the play button. We just running back to what we gonna do. I'm gonna hit this play button though.
And self-conscious about what was going on in my life. I knew I was on the path forward. I was able to have more constructive conversations around that. And then I also started to see that the quality of the people that I spent time with mattered. That if I spent time with people that were constantly making bad decisions, that it was likely I was going to begin to make bad decisions again. That if I spent time with people who weren't into health and wellness and the things that I got passionate about after getting out of jail, that I wouldn't be as passionate about those things. I realized that I truly needed to spend time with people that had common futures and not common pasts. And the reason this happened is because of working on the relationship with myself, like I said, establishing some belief in myself, improving my self-esteem and self-confidence, and being okay with making my own decisions for me and not trying to please somebody else or the people around me. That was a big game changer. Because now I was no longer afraid to walk away with certain people that weren't right for me in my life because of fear of what they would say about me. Because I didn't care. I knew for me that I was making the right decision for what I wanted in my life based on connecting with myself, understanding myself, self-discovery, and then taking that knowledge and pushing it out there and figuring out what types of relationships and friendships I wanted in my life. Again, it's not to say that people are quote-unquote bad people. I don't want to say that at all.
What up,
all I'm saying is, as far as what I wanted in my life and where I wanted to go, I need to make sure
Thank you for
that I was
waking up
spending
and
time with
coming to
people
spend
that
some
were
time with
truly
your
and fully
boy.
aligned with that. Also, as it relates to this relationship theme, I
Y'all know
finally
to
felt
go
comfortable being alone
support
for the
with
first time in my
Tamika
life.
Davis.
I would do
She'll
whatever I
post some
could before
good
I went
things
to jail,
on her
spend time with
community
people. I would go to
wall
all
because
the
she's a
parties.
great
I would
supporter.
get high with anybody I could. I would do all these
Appreciate
things, all
that.
because I was so uncomfortable with sitting by myself on the couch or wherever I was alone and not having people around me. Because I felt that if I didn't have people around me and that I wasn't constantly getting high with my friends or people in general, that meant that I was some sort of loser. I finally found peace when I was just by myself because I was able to harness a lot of that negative energy that would come up when I was alone. And I would think to myself, all right, now that I'm not focused on spending time with these people, what types of people do I want in my life? Or I would start to have some self-discovery thoughts on, okay, why am I feeling triggered right now? Why is this bothering me so much that I'm alone? Or I would be happy that I also found interest in other things, whether that was learning how to cook in alone time, whether that was spending time with my grandparents, whether that was reading more, all these things that came from me being more comfortable being alone, improving the relationships in my life, and most importantly, the relationship with myself. Today, from now being in recovery for almost 15 years, my relationships with my family are way better today than they ever have been. Not to say they're perfect, but they're way better. Because I've been able to reconnect to myself, work on myself, improve my own life, focus on my side of the street, focus on my mental health, my
What up,
reactions, how I
Sue?
show
Good
up
to
to family
see you. How
events,
you
how I show
doing?
up in conversations.
I know to
And
go
because
check
of
out the
that,
Bud Files
the relationships
daily.
around me have dramatically improved. Because before, it was totally different. I was coming to family events high, I was very reactive, and I was ashamed to come around my family in many ways. And I was also incredibly angry at them because I felt like everything was their fault. I felt that the reason that I got addicted to drugs was their fault. And it wasn't until the drugs came out of my system and I was in jail that I realized that the reason I got addicted to this stuff was because of me choosing to deal with my pain and my adversity in that way. So in the context of relationships, my relationships with people dramatically improved. The types of people I wanted in my life totally changed. And most importantly, the connection and relationship to myself improved so much. It improved so much, and that's been one of the greatest gifts. Quick recap of the gifts so far. Number 1, brain healed. Number 2, improved quality of life. Number 3, improvement in my overall mental health. Number 4, improvement in my relationships. And the 5th one is this beautiful gift of recovery. Recovery has given me so much peace. It's given me so much strength. It's given me so much hope. It's giving me meaning in life. It's given me purpose. It's given me a mission. It's allowed me to see that I can overcome hard things. It's allowed me to see that I can succeed when my back is against the wall. It allows me to see that just because life gets hard doesn't mean that you have to give up on yourself. It's allowed me to see that I need to take full responsibility and accountability for how I behave on a daily basis. I've met some amazing people in my life because of recovery. It's given me all these other gifts that I've talked about, right? Improvement in my brain health, quality of life, relationships, mental health. I wouldn't be doing what I am today without being in recovery. And sure, things I definitely regret doing, and I still look at it, I can't believe I did that. But I look at who I was before getting into recovery, before even being addicted to drugs. I was unconfident, no self-esteem, no purpose, depressed, very soft-spoken, didn't have my own values, beliefs, that sort of thing. And now coming out on the other side of all that, I have those things. I feel confident about my life and where I'm going. I have high self-esteem. I might still struggle at times with my mental health, but I deal with it in a very healthy way. All of that would have come without going through what I went through and getting into recovery. And I'm also blessed that I'm able to share my story to help other people, that I'm able to have this podcast, that I'm able to do a series like this, that I'm able to connect with people on social media, that I'm able to speak and do all these things that recovery has gifted me to be able to pay it forward and be of service and to help inspire other people on the power of recovery, on the power of making the most of your second chance, and the importance on focusing on how far you've come and not how far you have to go. So these are 5 of the amazing gifts that quitting cannabis has given me. Again, quick recap. Number 1 is my brain healed. Number 2, improved overall quality of life. Number 3, it improved my mental health. Number 4, it improved my relationships. And number 5, it gave me this beautiful gift of recovery. Hope y'all enjoyed this first episode of the cannabis series. Stay tuned for episode 2 next Thursday, which will be our first expert interview, and I cannot wait to share it with you. See you next time. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, I really think you're going to like this video as well. I'll see you there.
The nice seeds are a game changer for a lot of growers, but they're not perfect. In this video, we'll cover what they are and how they're made and the key things to watch out for. But first, check this out. Attention, growers, monitor your grow.
Good talking
For real,
points.
guys. PulseGrow.com. You want to be able to know when things are going right or wrong, or just monitor your grow. VPD, temperature, humidity, light schedules, lights on and off, CO2, is it too low? Did your tank run out? R, DLI, spectrum, dew point. PulseGrow measures all of these items. PulseGrow.com You can pick up a Pulse Zero meter for under $100. Coupon code DUDE will help you out across the site. Check out pulsegrow.com. It is insurance for your grow. Believe me, it has saved me before. All right, Scotty, let's hit the basics first. Like, what are feminized seeds and why do growers like them? Because I know I do.
Oh yeah, they're amazing. There's seeds that when you plant a pack of seeds, you're gonna get half that are male and half that are female, more or less. With feminized seeds, the way they are made, 99% of them, all of them come up female. I have never had a pack of feminized seeds that has given me anything but female plants. So that's huge. Space in the grow. Man, I don't want to waste all that time growing male plants we're just going to throw away after I veg them and after I flower them for 2 or 3 weeks.
They also save definitely time and space when planning out your growth strategy. Because, you know, again,
Don't want to be holding up the
back
real
in the day
estate.
when you're planting reg seeds, and sometimes you can realize
Unless
pretty
you're
quick you
doing
had
a breeding
sometimes you
project.
had already gone through up to a month of growth. You've dedicated your time, your media, your nutrients, and everything to it. Just take it out. So this is a really money saver as well.
Hi,
Let's
Jack.
talk about how they're made.
I was going to say, if you have male plants, you want to figure out if they're male or female. As soon as they're big enough, clone them and put that cloning chamber in flower. It'll tell you the fastest way. End of my hijack.
I like it. Pro tip. All right, let's talk about how they're made.
For one, I understand it's pretty simple, right? You take a female plant and you stress it out. You use colloidal silver or silver thiosulfate, is what I heard, and it will just put this plant in the survival mode, and it will push out male pollen sacs, and it will make pollen because it's just trying to survive, and that's the idea. And now, if you think about it, where's there a male hormone in there? Where's there a male chromosome in there? That pollen was made from a female plant. There are no male chromosomes in there, so there's no chance that you're going to get a male out of it.
No, and just as a side note, this isn't like GMO. You're just, like Scotty said, manipulating the plant's natural processes. You're not going to get, at first, man, when it's just, again, like anything new, feminine seeds got sometimes a bad rap. People that were more just purists, I'd say, like, man, I like grow reg seed. You know, I mean, sacrificing maybe some fall.
How is this not GMO? You're literally taking a plant and you're having it selfing it using crazy chemicals. I mean, it's not GMO where it's altering and putting outside genetics into a plant, but it sure is altering the genetics a lot.
Let's talk about it. Now, is there any truth, or are there any problems we should watch out for in fem seed versus regular photo seed?
Yes, I mean, think about it. You ever hear the rap that they display intersex traits very easily? Yeah, I did good. Good job. See that? Yeah. Did good.
No, any seeds, though, can potentially have, issues from either parents. Are you trying to say that since the way that feminized seeds are made, you might have more potential for bad traits, whether it's... Go ahead.
We got either parent. One parent in traditional breeding could have tendencies for powdery mildew or hermaphroditism, whatever. And then it crosses with another plant, and okay, so you got the genetics mix up. When you're crossing it with the same plant, you're taking male pollen that you force from that exact same plant, those exact same genetics, and then crossing it back. There is a lack of genetic diversity there. You've got some recessive traits. There is a good chance when you're just combining these two same things together. That you're gonna get some recessive traits and some weird traits coming out, man.
Got it. You're talking about the loss of heterozygosity. Totally, I dig that.
I was setting you up. I wanted to get you to say that, man. Not bad, by the way. Good job.
Yeah, that's what you said in this sentence. In selfing, there's no introduction of new genetic material, reduces genetic diversity, and can lead to inbreeding, depression, or the expression of undesirable traits. And it can also, though, lead to the expression of desirable traits all the same.
Yeah, it's homozygous, bro. Full-on homozygous.
Hell yeah.
That's a real word, too, man. I'm doing good, right?
So I said, I support them.
What isn't a zygote like the new life, so a hetero is different, homo is the same. When you have homozygous, you've got less genetic material in there, and that's more chance for
the recessive traits to show up.
And this is, again, not my area of expertise, but I don't think any more than you're going to run into with photoperiod seeds. I just don't want the takeaway to be that I'm going to potentially have more problems with feminized seeds, with what were you saying before?
Intersex, homozygous. You said the other one good, man.
These are things you should look out in any type of seeds. I'm just not trying to give the femmes a bad rap, Scotty.
Yeah, I know, and I would grow feminized seeds, absolutely.
Yes,
I'm
I
not
also watch
scared
her
of them,
channel.
but you need a good
Shout out to the
breeder. You need a
algorithm.
breeder that selected the right starting female that didn't have all those bad traits, and then when they back cross, it is back crossing? Is that right, Grandma? No, selfing. I'm sorry. When they selfed it, that they're working with good genetic material. That's really what it comes down to. Are you amplifying the good stuff or the bad stuff?
I'm usually reviewing cannabis
Do this in
content on
humans yet? For people that
Saturdays and
want to wear a
Sundays.
girl for sure. Can you get feminized?
Stuff I watch, I like to watch with other
Yes.
people. So
For a long time, you could, yeah.
Interesting. Hey, tell us what you guys think of feminized seed. Have you had any issues with it? Do you dig it? Obviously, it has its bonuses, but leave us a comment below. Let us know what you think.
And if you like this video, please hit that like button and smash that subscribe button. Share this video with another grower you know. And check out the other couple videos YouTube's recommending. I think you'll dig them.
Hope you don't mind. We made some tea. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the bloke you're stealing from. The name's Alistair Rigby, but as far as you're concerned, I'm Willy fucking Wonka, and you're taking a shit in my fucking chocolate factory. Easy, boss. Don't get upset. When I have to go to the dentist, I'm upset. When Liverpool beats Arsenal, I'm upset. But when some little shit decides to take over one of the most profitable territories in the country, I'm beyond fucking upset. I'm very fucking upset. So, from now on, you're under new management.
oh yeah, I got the interview he just did with Mr. Grow It that I did a couple weeks ago. Check the playlist.
Allowance, as in I'm allowing you to keep 10%, and I'm allowing you to keep drawing breath on this earth. Now,
I'm
you either
definitely
get
fucking
down
bass.
or you lay down. What's it gonna be, sunshine?
This wasn't no movie. The smart thing was to say yes, get up, and leave the room. But then I thought to myself, what if this was a movie? Look, fuck you, fuck the plane you flew in on, fuck them shoes, fuck those socks with the bell on it, fuck your gay-ass fairy faggot accent, fuck them cheap-ass cigars, fuck your yuck-mouth teeth, fuck your hairpiece, fuck your chocolate, fuck Guy Ritchie, fuck Prince William, fuck the Queen. This is America. My president is black and my Lambo is blue, nigga. Now get the fuck out of my hotel room. And if I see you in the street, I'm slapping the shit out of you.
I think this one spent too much time in the cinema. Teach this cheeky bastard a lesson. Nobody fucking move!
Oh man, this is bad.
What is this? A casting call for the Sopranos reunion? Do me a favour. Tell room service nobody here ordered the extra large whop with a side order of wops. Whoa!
Hit pause on that because y'all already know it's time to go into the garden part of the video because, you know, we like 45 minutes deep in it. Shout out to being so deep in the video you forget to show the plants, but you know how we do. I got it behind me. Look, the tent open. Yeah, we got Rick and Morty over there. Then, you know, you got my wall art. Yeah, but y'all want to see the ladies because, you know, you always ask me how the ladies doing. There they go. We're gonna bring them into the video. Here's flower tent number 2 because this is flower tent, but these are autos, so you know it don't matter how much light you give them, they just gonna do what the fuck they do anyway. So might as well put them on in here. That way I can keep a better eye on them because they right behind me. And then when I'm at home on the weekends, they right behind me. You dig? They doing their thing though. Yeah, they doing their thing. change out their water this week though. That might be later on today. Might not be in this video, but I might make a video. So shouts out to that. Then of course y'all already know we got the green room cracking over here. Yeah, Precious, get your ass out the way. Don't get stepped on. Hell, laying in the middle of the tracks when the train coming. Chicka 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 chicka. Chicka, chicka, chicka. Green room. Hey, that boy got some skills when he come with the motherfucking display effects. Shout out to display effects because you know we in the green room now. Hopefully y'all appreciate it. I know y'all like to see the plants. There go those 3 that I had started recently. Those were also from seeds because everything's been from seed. Because, you know, we got seeds, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to the son of Odin Seed Company. We got seeds, but, you know, those are those better OGs that my homeboy had grew also. You know, we got shit, because we got a variety of things. We got a couple flowers in the green ones, because, you know, we keep greens and things. You know, it ain't all we got strawberries. Everybody, they doing good again, because, you know, the strawberries be doing their thing. I put some water in there because they like it juicy. Shout out to the juicy ass strawberries. Dragon fruit. I'm ready to repot those individually so I can see how many I actually got. Because, you know, coming up, when I'm out doing consultations, those are for sale. You dig? And they're going to be like, oh, they're already started? Yeah, already ready to go. The only thing you got to do is water them once a week. And that's about all they like because they like to grow kind of vigorously. You can see that when you're getting kind of bees over here. And then, of course, we got a pineapple in the back. I don't know if it's going to make it or not. I'm going to clean it up later on, see what it do, see what it look like. You know, we got to get that garden thing on point in my green room because, you know, I've been doing some stuff too. Oh, well, shit, that's what's up for him. Oh, yeah, basically, he active in the community. Hell, he appreciate that shit because he came up watching that shit. Shouts out to YouTubing it up. That's exactly why I'm sitting here now. Hell, the big homies done been consulting me like, hey, if you doing something, go ahead, put it on camera. Hell, do you a review channel? That way you ain't always got to focus on your grow. You can just focus on whatever you want to watch him was already doing. And people gonna like that. And he was right. Hell, all 6 of them was right because, you know, I got mentors out here, you know what I'm saying? We got influencers that, you know, hey, they do their thing. They put that information out there and then you fucking be like me, you're gonna test what they was telling you. And then once you figure out how to get some money out of it, you're gonna be good. Fucking see this motherfucking spider been working out in here. I see that. I see that. I see that. Like I said, once I move these dragon fruits into their own little cups and containers, they'll be alright. They'll be alright. They will be alright. Anyways, let's get back to the rest of these videos because y'all didn't seen all the ladies and what we got going on. We got some seeds to pop too. Fill up the rest of these buckets. Shout out to Bucket Gang. Bucket heads. Smoke on. Uh-oh. This guy look like he's serious. What are he talking about?
Hey everyone, welcome into our latest Cannabis Reform mini-series. Tonight we take a look at the U.S. cannabis landscape if rescheduling does pass in 2025, along with banking and research announced as well. We'll outline the impacts of rescheduling, state rights for recreational use under the Trump administration, uplisting of American cannabis companies on major stock exchanges, and the crucial language needed in the SAFE Banking Act for institutional investment. So, let's first talk about cannabis rescheduling. As we've said in recent episodes, the Department of Justice has initiated a formal rulemaking process to reclassify cannabis from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3. This important step would recognize the medical benefits of cannabis and reduce regulatory burdens.
It would open up more research opportunities and potentially increase access to banking services for cannabis businesses. A rule on recycling is expected towards the back half of 2025. Next up, states' rights. The Trump administration has announced support for states' rights to legalize cannabis. This move aligns with the administration's broader policy
What up,
of giving
Seymour?
states more control over their own cannabis
All right,
laws.
DJ Tony,
If
we gotta get to
implemented,
see
it
you.
could
Hopefully
lead
you
to a
have a nice
patchwork
day.
of state regulations, but also provide a clear path for states to legalize and regulate cannabis without federal interference. Now, uplisting. One of the most anticipated developments is the potential uplisting of American cannabis companies on major stock exchanges, like the New York Stock Exchange and the NASDAQ. Currently, many U.S. cannabis companies are listed on over-the-counter markets, which limits their access to capital. Uplisting would not only provide greater liquidity, but also attract a broader range of investors, enhancing the overall growth and stability of the industry, which is badly needed knowing most stocks have experienced 52-week lows over the past month. For these changes to be fully realized, the Safe Banking Act needs to include specific language that provides safe harbor for financial institutions working with cannabis businesses. This would allow banks to offer services without fear of federal penalties and enable institutional investors to buy cannabis stocks. Key provisions should address capital markets, provide a safe harbor for U.S. exchanges to list plant-touching stocks, and ensure compliance with FinCEN regulations. So what are FinCEN regulations? These regulations require financial institutions to file suspicious activity reports for transactions involving marijuana-related businesses. Despite state legalization, federal laws still classify marijuana as a Schedule I drug. Financial institutions must conduct due diligence and report any suspicious activities to ensure compliance with the Bank Secrecy Act. This helps prevent money laundering and other financial concerns associated within the cannabis industry. So saying that, the overall industry still faces challenges. Market volatility, regulatory hurdles, and competition from both domestic and international players will require strategic navigation. Companies will need to leverage innovation and build strong partnerships and maintain compliance with evolving regulations to thrive. If proper safe harbor language is outlined within the Safe Banking Bill, it would drive a whole new audience of investors that includes institutional buyers. Currently, the industry is backed by over 95% of retail investors with minimal institutional interest. So in summary, the U.S. cannabis landscape is poised for a significant transformation heading into 2025. Rescheduling, states' rights for recreational use, uplisting on major stock exchanges, and comprehensive banking reform could drive growth. Investors should pay close attention to these developments as they represent both opportunities and challenges for the industry. With the right strategies, the future of cannabis within the U.S. would then look promising. Until then, our takeaway here today, the cannabis industry still has too many unknowns. But the encouraging thing about the industry are the right conversations are now taking place with the right elected officials in Washington. If these things happen, then as I mentioned earlier, the industry is poised for a major transformation here in 2025. So what do you all think? Do you think rescheduling gets announced in 2025? Do you think banking and states' rights will be further clarified at some point this year? Or do you think this is still years away down the road? One thing is for sure, we'd love to get your feedback, so leave some comments below and make sure to smash that bell for all notifications. A reminder to share this video within your network, and if you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe to our channel because we wouldn't be here without you. Let's face it, 2025 will be the moment of truth for the cannabis industry and really for a lot of companies associated within it. The new year is upon us, so here we go. Happy holidays from all of us here at TDR, and see you in 2025. Thanks for watching, everyone.
told y'all to go check out that big homie at DJ Is. Y'all know he keep them beats.
Let's discuss my payment. That time is past. No 5,000 for you. The price is 50. How about your payment is you get to leave? Not enough. Oh, you think you can negotiate with me? I say the word, my nephews go to a certain motel, pay a visit to your daughter-in-law and your little granddaughter. What do you think happens then? Consider your position carefully. I get my money, or neither of us walk out of here. You willing to die for this? Maybe I need the 50,000 more than you do.
Y'all know to go check out Dragon Ball Super content over on Spider Pig. Shout out to Spider Pig for having them Super Saturdays. Matter of fact, let's see. Why is it not showing a pig in my notification bar? There you go right there. Let's go check that out and show y'all what we doing over there. Shout out to Spider Pig. Yeah. Look at your boy.
You already know what time it is.
It's already at
Early in the
100
morning on
views.
Saturdays, aka
That's it.
Complete your day super. You know, just pull up, watch content. We don't vibe. Make sure this look good.
What's up, 108? Yeah, that's nice. So you go up in real
We got a
time.
nice playlist. Looks like we got about, what, 20 videos? Yeah, 20 of them. Let's get to it then.
Y'all know to go check out Spider Pig. And then y'all also know to go check out the Rumble, because you know we ready to rumble over there too. You know y'all ninjas need to get over on the Rumble. Keep that popping over there. Because I'm also recording this for Rumble, and you know you get the studio quality on Rumble. That's me using the OBS system. Shout out to the OBS. I had just uploaded the same video that I just showed you on Spider Pig on Rumble. See, here we go. Oh, there it is. Shout out to liking your own video. Make sure you do. Over back, Rumble, it's your boy Spider Pig, aka TWP. Y'all already know what time it is. Show y'all how busy we be on Saturday, right? Shout out to Spider Pig. Y'all be putting in that work over on YouTube so y'all can get these fresh. Yeah, I got a 3-minute clip. Let's start this one over. Play full screen. Shout out to that boy Goku. He got swag when it comes to them guns. But anyways, y'all know to go check out the Rumble and Spider Pig, all that, because you know how we do. We do what we do. Then y'all know to go check out the Buy Me a Coffee. Let's go check out the Trap House, though. I know y'all like to see the Trap House so y'all can see some numbers. Let's see where we at today. I know, yeah, some fell off, so let's see where we at. I ain't even came in here and looked around yet. Let's see what these analytics cooking today. We still above 5K views so far. I just had about 10,000 fall off the other day, so so then we back at 5, so we gonna have to get the numbers right back up, because you know how we do. We'll find a short that somebody like. And that by somebody I mean 1,000 to 10,000 people. You see what I'm saying? We'll find one, because we be watching shit all the damn time. But let's see. Yeah, here we go. 5.9K views, and then we got some watch time hours. Shouts out to this 13 subscribers we're up to in the last 38 days. We did something. Shit, we gonna get some numbers looking better. Hell, to start the year off, we almost had 13.7. So you see what I'm saying? Yeah, we working on it. That 68 look good though. So shout out to them. Shout out to Melinda Elliott. She over there in the comments. Look like 6 Bows. Keep her that little purple deal right there. That means top commenter. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to our top commenter. Cuba Skincare in the game. Doing them things over there. Look at these videos getting some numbers. Shout out to the videos getting numbers, because hell, we appreciate that. Look, 20, 37, and 83. So our video views is decent for the day. We woke up to some in a new Bugatti. Shout out to the analytics, though. Appreciate that part of the studio. Hell. Hopefully y'all have y'all a nice day, though, because I ain't trying to hold y'all up all day. Y'all know how we do. We got places to go, things to be doing. Definitely got some things to do. Yes, sir.